Thank you so much, everybody, and welcome to my very first ever webinar, Transformation Coaching. My name is Coach Claire, and today I am going to walk you through a little bit about the RISE transformation coaching that I actually do. Today we're going to be talking about, are you ready to release, reflect, refocus, and restart? And what does that really look like? How do we heal from that? And what does that mean to heal and live again? So thank you so much for coming here. Thank you for spending the next few minutes of your time with me. If we can go ahead and go to the next slide, sis. So today we are going to be doing a free webinar. Most of you guys know me already, and most of you have gotten my book. If you have, I hope that you guys are enjoying the read, and I hope that it's helping you by any means possible. It's such an honor to even be doing this with you guys right now because it has been one amazing journey in the last couple of 6 months, and this is awesome. I can't believe that I'm actually doing this right now because this has been quite of a journey in the last couple of 6 months. So thank you so much for being here. We can go to the next slide, sis. So today in this course, what we're going to learn is who am I and what is my why? What is transformation coaching? And the 4 steps to the RISE process, 4 steps to the change, and how we can help someone that is dealing with hard times. And what is the power behind facing you? I'm also going to give a couple of client testimonies that I have and just information about the upcoming 6 weeks course that I'm going to be teaching here in a few. So thank you so much for jumping in and being here with me right now. So the first thing is I'm going to ask you this question. You know, all of us have this question. It's like, do we really know who we are? Do we know the real best version of ourselves? And what's really stopping you? You know, what is that one thing that you ask yourself all the time when you see someone? You know, we often compare ourselves to others when they are successful or when they're doing something so extravagant, like releasing a book or publishing something or getting a new job. And we always wonder to ourselves and ask ourselves, like, what is really stopping you? You know, we tend to look down on ourselves instead of finding that gift inside of you and transforming into that person that you're supposed to be. So today I want to ask you that, are you ready to discover and release and become the best version of yourself? If so, what is stopping you? What is that one thing that is stopping you? I know for me, for the longest time, the thing that stopped me the most, even doing what I'm doing now to you, is that nobody's going to come. You know, like, who in the world is going to listen to me? And I don't speak English. Like, English is not my first language. So why in the world are people going to listen to me? And who am I? You know, like I said, we often put ourselves down so much that that's the first step that we take. We go on to the belittling ourselves so drastically. So today what I'm gonna talk about to you guys is just kind of helping you find out a little bit more about what transformation coaching is. A lot of us don't really there's so many different coaches. So many different coaches out there. We have empowerment coach, we have motivator coach, we have spiritual coaches, we have parent coaches, we have so many different ones. We actually have one right now here, a friend of mine, Sister Esther. She is a parent coach, and there's just different ones. You know, all of us have something that we can work with, and there are some things in ourselves that we can channel and really figure out how can we work and even deliver and become better than that. So if we go to the next slide, sis. So my name is Clarice, and I am a certified life coach. I have been a certified life coach since 2019, but the journey to that was incredible, honestly. I never thought that I would be a life coach. I am a best-selling author 2 times now. I am the CEO of the Transformation Coaching. I am the founder of Broken But Beautifully Made International Women's Ministry. I am also a co-founder of an upcoming business that's going to be launching soon called Girl Get Your Life Coaching and Consulting. And like I said, I am a photographer and a youth ministry here at church, here at my church here in Albuquerque. I'm currently in college right now studying business. I only have 2 more years. I'm so excited, praise God. I only have 2 more years and I'll be graduating my project management degree. I love God. Absolutely. He is my first and foremost ever. I do have a servant heart. I do believe in servant leadership. I help people become the best version of themselves. I challenge people to bring their gifts out. If you are close to me, if you know me long enough, you'll get to experience that from me, even as a friend. I love to challenge people, because if you don't have that person that can challenge you to put you to do something you're not used to, you're never going to do it. Fear itself and self-doubt can withhold you from becoming the best version of yourself because you are afraid. You're afraid of something that's not even happening. So as a coach, I do challenge you to bring your gifts out. I do help and guide you to find your voice. That voice, not just a voice like how we're talking, but that voice in you that is really you. That roars inside of you, that brews inside of you, knowing that it's like, this is your opinion, this is what you love to do, this is who you are, and this is just me. You know what I mean? I am still a full-time employee with Verizon. I've been in customer service now for 10 years, goodness. So I've dealt with customers my entire time I've been working here in the US. Absolutely. So that's a little bit more about me. My why. What is my why? My why is I just got tired of not being able to find that help when I needed it the most, when I was going through my own transition in life. I got sick and tired of not having that coach or not having that mentor or not having that person that I can actually just come to, and just know that they're going to understand me. They can give me the right path. They can show me the right path, or even just to listen to. There's so many times that when we're going through things in life, we don't really have anyone to talk to or anyone that can understand you. There is a difference between a counselor and a life coach. Huge, huge difference. And as a life coach, think about a life coach as like the coach in a football field. It is my job to help draw out the goals for you and the plans for you in your life, and just to kind of guide you. Primarily, I'm the one asking you, what do you really want in your life? What do you really aspire to do? What do you see in the next 5 years of your life? Do you really want to get stuck in the same job for the next 5 years of your life? Or do you want to do something better? Have you always had a dream in your life that you have wanted to do, but you just didn't have the courage to do so? Because again, you didn't have your voice. You have no one challenging you, and you don't really know what that best version of yourself is because you don't even really know who you are. That's when I come into place. Next slide, sis. So what is transformation coaching? Before I go into this, so I'm not the only one talking here, has any of you guys ever heard of transformation coaching? You guys can unmute yourself if you want to answer.
No, I haven't.
You haven't? Gabriella, is that you?
No. I've heard a little bit about it. This is Gabriella.
Hi.
I actually just had completed a 6-week kind of free. It was a free one that she had just started. Her name's Dominique Velasquez.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hers was more for addiction,
Ah,
but she's a life coach too.
well, that's awesome. You said 6 weeks.
Yes.
That's awesome. Well, good job. Miss Saron, did I pronounce that right?
Yes, yes, you did.
Thanks, sis. Okay, what were you gonna say? I know you had unmuted yourself.
Oh, I was just going to say this is my first time actually hearing about it. I've heard of life coach, but not the transformational.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Hmm.
Not a lot of people have. So that's why I asked if you guys have heard about it. Because then again, just like Gabriella, there's a different type of coaches that you can hire or different type of coaches that you can go to. But you have to, they all work in different aspects. For me, God is always going to be my center when it comes to coaching. Like, He is my source, beginning and end, always. But as a transformational coach, basically what transformational coaching is, we empower you to completely rethink what's possible for you professionally and in your normal life. Transformation, I've heard lifestyle health and life coach. Yes, there is lifestyle and health coaches, but transformation, think about it, how does a butterfly become a butterfly? It transforms, right? But in order for that butterfly to get to that, it has to go through stages of life. It has to go through rough stages. Just because that butterfly is sitting in a cocoon doesn't mean it's not hurting inside. It's literally trying to break off of its shell so that it can form into a butterfly. Think about that as transformation coaching. Transformation coaching is a process of partnering with someone like myself to support you through significant changes that helps you grow and develop, ultimately rewriting your reality, like rewriting your story. When I just recently published my book, in the book that I talk about, I help you basically and show you all the different ways that you can find the beauty in your brokenness, aka transformation. It's about rewriting what was done to you, or what have you done in the past, and becoming the best version of yourself and becoming new. It's a renewal process. It's a transformation. A lot of people, when they say transformation, they immediately go to the physical aspect of it, like, oh, transformation coach, are you like a fitness coach? Like, no. We also have mental and spiritual and emotional transformation that needs to take place, not just in a physical form. Yes, it's an absolute renewal of your entire mind, body, and spirit. Like, transformation, a lot of the time when we focus on like changing, what is the first thing we want to change? Our physical. Oh, I have to lose weight, or I have to do this. And we change our haircuts. We change this. I know for a fact, for me, for the longest time, I have taken it out on my hair, because I feel like if I cut my hair, I am making some type of change. Again, rewriting what my reality is. What is the reality? I did not want to have a long hair. I wanted to have a short hair because I felt like that was going to give me that boost or that confidence that will show me that there's some type of change that I did. But in real life, you didn't really make a change. You did something facade and surface of a change, and that's what transformation coaching comes in, is that we help you, or I help you process to partnering and guiding you and helping you grow and develop, ultimately to a significant big change in your life. There's a lot that comes in transformation coaching. These are just some of it. I just kind of put it out there, but in shortcut, basically, I'm here to guide you. I'm here to redesign, like, I'm like an event planner of your life in a way, to where we're going to sit down and I basically talk you through it and help you figure out like, okay, well, what do you really want to do in life? Like, where do you really see yourself? And how do you even see yourself? Do you even see yourself improving? Like, do you even journal? Do you even do inventory in yourself? Like, we want something long and lasting and sustainable change. Change is not easy. Nobody says that change is easy. Change itself is difficult, but it's necessary. We have to prioritize and understand that in order for change to take place, like, I didn't get here talking to you guys overnight. It took a long time to get to here, and I am not perfect. I'm still constantly growing. I too have a coach. Just because I'm a coach does not mean I don't need help. I still do. Everybody needs help. Everybody needs accountability partner. Everybody needs that like oomph that can give you the next feedback, the next growth experience. Because if we don't, we are never going to grow. We're never going to evolve. We're never going to be the best version that God created us to be, because we are stuck. We're stuck in our pride, thinking that I don't need help. We're afraid that people are going to judge you because you're now changing. You know what? At the end of the day, you have to conquer those fears, because at the end of the day, you are the one sleeping in that pillow knowing that you chose not to change. It is your decision when you lay in that bed knowing that I could have done something different today, or I could have handled that situation different, or I could have said it differently. There's so many things that we could do when it comes to transformation coaching, that it shifts into like a complete mindset and perspective change. One of the things that I talk about in the book, I think only a few of you guys have bought it in here. I think Sarah or Miss Sarah. Miss Sarah, did you buy my book? I don't think you have. Have read the book, but in the book, I basically walk you through like how the steps is just like a butterfly. Like, you first have, we're going to dive in that here in just a little bit, but I talk about like, what is release? What does reflect mean? Like, what does that mean? Like, what does it even really look like? And when was the last time you actually have done a release? Like, if I ask you right now, one of you guys can answer this, but if I ask you right now, when you had something bothered you yesterday or even today, let's not go yesterday, because sometimes we don't even remember what happened yesterday or like this morning. Like, if something had bothered you, did you let it go, or did you hold on to that till right now? We're here talking and it's in the back of your head bothering you. I'm sure there is. We're not perfect. God never said that we have to be perfect in order for us to become the best version of ourselves, but it is our responsibility to let all those things go, because we cannot give ourselves room to grow if we're holding on to things that don't serve us. Realizing that success does not happen in isolation, okay? Nothing good comes out when you isolate yourself. When change takes place and when change starts to kick in, we feel like, oh my goodness, I gotta do this by myself. I have to be alone. I gotta just like focus here. Like, no, this is now the time that you have to reach out, because you want to make sure that when you're changing, you're not just changing for the wrong reason because you're trying to please someone else's validation. Okay. Change comes from within because you feel convicted that you could be a better person, that you could be a better parent, you could be a better wife, you could be a better employee, you could be a better just human being. You know what I mean? Like, isolation and change does not go hand in hand at all. As a coach, it is my job to help you fulfill that. I am here to help you define what fulfillment really looks like. When was the last time you actually feel fulfilled for what you did? We're in the world right now that is full of like, go, go, go. I got to just go. I got to go. I got to get this done. I got to get this tomorrow done. And we forget that we live in an age right now that you have to at least be in the moment still. You can't just go tomorrow and expect that that's going to happen and forget about like the success that you just had. Gaining awareness about your talents, motivators, dreams, fears, cultural influences, and assumptions, and exploring how you could be shaping your own world. What do I mean about that? We have so much dreams. Okay, God gave us so much dreams in our hearts, but because we don't know how to even use it or implement it, or think that it's not good enough because you haven't graduated college for it, like heck, to be a life coach, for the longest time I've always wanted to do it, but people had given me wrong information, or maybe they deliberately just didn't want me to be a coach. And I was told so many different things, like, oh, you need this, you need that. And guess what? That drives me to self-doubt. That drives you to fear, false image appearing real, like false evidence appearing real, even though it's not there. We now become so fearful of accepting the gifts and the dreams that God gave us, because we're assuming we can't do it because we didn't go through certain things, or you don't have enough experience for it. You yourself, your life is your experience. Let me tell you that. You may not even realize that being a parent, or being a wife, or being a business owner, you have an experience that I don't have. And I have experiences that you don't have, that you can benefit from whenever you're partnering and collaborating with someone, when you're asking for that feedback, and when you're asking for that coaching. Because coaching and counseling, a lot of times people see that as a stigma, like, oh, why do you need, I don't need help. Yes, we all need help. So at first I want you to understand that whenever you are needing assistance, and when you're needing help, it's nothing to fear about, or it's nothing to be ashamed about, because trust me, you're actually doing yourself a favor, and you're doing everyone around you a favor, because now not only are you providing yourself self-love, you're giving yourself the chance that you've never had before. Okay. Next slide, sis. Okay, so here's what I was going to talk about today, and where we're going to kind of focus on the most. So here's the 4 steps that I created, that God helped me create, and things that I went through. Just to kind of tell you a little bit about my background and my story. I went through a very, very traumatic experience myself growing up. I have overcame sexual abuse, drug addiction, suicide, self-harm, eating disorder. I mean, you name it. Self-cutting. And when there is trauma, okay, when trauma comes in and brokenness comes in, you cannot see hope a lot of the times. When trauma is so heavy, it's like the burden, it starts feeling like there's no hope. So then what do? You just get stuck. You live in this pit of just doing over and over and over and over, and doing the same thing, expecting a different result. It's just like this. If you think about like a domestic violence, when you go into a domestic violence class, they'll show you like this, like a circle, because it's a cycle. We all go through cycle. Every day, your thinking process and your mindfulness and your mind goes through a cycle. When a situation is presented to you, how do you react from that? Do you let it go? Do you reflect on it? And then do you refocus, or do you start over? Or do you just sit there and molt on it and like really let it bother you for like the next 8 hours? Just think about like when you have a fight with your husband, or when your boss irritated you today because you got called out on something you think was not right. And that's a trauma, that's a brokenness, that's a pain, that's irritation, that's anger. All of that will eat you alive if you don't learn how to let it go. So for me, the type of coach that I am, the 4 steps that I created is basically you release, you reflect, and you refocus, and you restart. So all these things we will definitely break down to. But I'm going to give just a little bit of an overview of how that is. But release means to let go of things. Let it all go. Like stop holding on to things that are no used to you? Like, why are you holding on to things that had happened 30 years ago? Is it necessary? Is it helping you to get you to the next best thing that God has for you? Or are you just holding that to validate that you are unloved? Are you holding on to that because it validates the fact that, see, I knew it. I wasn't ever going to get what I wanted, or I was never going to get the job that I've applied for. Like, you doing that, you are absolutely cutting yourself in the leg from the blessing that God has for you. So releasing is so crucial. Reflect. What does reflect mean? Reflect is once that you have released all those things that is going on with you, now it's time for you to reflect and go back and really understand, like, how did that made you feel? What was the lessons you were supposed to learn on that? Because if not, you're going to go back into this cycle. Life always will hand you cards every day, but it's how you manage it. It's how you become mindful of it. It's how you process things. It's how you like develop this strategy in your head. You know, God gave us tools. His word says that he has so much for us. His plans for us is to be prosperous. But if we can't even let go of the earthly things that's bothering us, how are we supposed to appreciate all of the godly things and blessings he gets given you? So reflecting is so important because those things, they're going to come around until you learn your lesson. Trust me. Refocus. Once you have understand what you just let go, once you have understand what was the lesson, and you've reflect on yourself, like, how did I learn from this? What could I have learned different? Now it's time for you to refocus. Focus on the things that really matter. Focus on the right people. Stop focusing on those naysayers that is around you. Stop focusing on those people that tells you you cannot do that, or doubts you, or even your own mind. Our mind is so powerful. Our subconscious, if you really study shows, I was reading on it, that our mind is so powerful that half of the time we don't even really think in our conscious mind. It's our subconscious that's thinking for us. And if our subconscious is stuck in the past, guess what? You are going to make that decision from the situation that you've had in the past. So God wants us to focus. Refocus on him. Refocus on the good things he has given you. Refocus on the positive. Refocus on the know that, okay, rejection, I may have gotten rejected today, but that's okay, because that just meant that it's not meant for me right now. And just see the good thing about it. We have this fear of missing out on things. We have this fear that if we don't do certain things, or if we don't please people, or if we don't do these things, we are going to miss out on a lot of things. Let me tell you, you have centuries to go. You have so much in you that you do not need to fear of missing out on anything, but focus on what's important. Focus on you, focus on your children, focus on your career, focus on like your goal. Stay on your own vision. Half of the time we're so focused on helping others, which there's nothing wrong with that, okay? But we're so focused on helping others that we forget our own career, we forget our own goals, we forget our own vision. We're so busy helping someone make their dream happen, and you forget about yours. Have you done anything for your dream? No. Have you done anything to help you with your business? No, but I just helped so and so yesterday hand out flyers. What are you doing? Focus. Get back into the game. Refocus. Again, we're all about what? Transforming you. You have to transform you in order for you to be able to help others. You cannot help others if you can't even help you from within. Once you have identified that, now to start over. The society that we live in tells you that when you start over, you're a failure. Let me tell you, I think restarting over is the best key that has been given to us. It's like you get to start over. Not everybody gets an opportunity to start over. Not everyone. Not everyone gets an opportunity to start again. Not everyone gets the opportunity to remarry. Not everyone gets an opportunity to get rehired on a different job. Not everyone gets an opportunity to like rekindle and fix relationships. So it's like when you are given that opportunity, you are to take hold of that hard. It's like having a blank canvas and starting over and painting it again. It's like, this is now your life. Start over. Stop believing on this false reality that if you have to start over, oh my goodness, the world is falling and crashing on you because you are a failure, because your marriage broke, or because you lost that job, or because your business failed, or because you said you were going to go to college for this and you had to start over. You know what? The heck with it. Because at the end of the day, what matters is between you and God. If God tells you, I need you to drop everything and start over, that is what you are to do. If God tells you that it's time for you to start a new journey and a new path, take on that. Because again, not everybody gets an opportunity to restart. So I want to encourage you today, like, don't see restarting as a pinnacle of like a downfall in your life, because it's really not. It's the new cocoon. You went through all those stages like a butterfly, and you're now amplified. Like, okay, you have a rebirth. I mean, as a born again Christian, what do? We get baptized again. And is that a failure? No, it's not. Just because you were baptized when you were a kid does not mean that now you're older and you're getting baptized again, you're a failure. Absolutely not. It's like restarting is something so important for all of us. I went through my own phase of starting over. And for the longest time, I was afraid. I was like, oh my goodness, people are going to look down on me because they're going to think that I couldn't even keep a job, or I already have this bias against me of my race and all those things. But it's all just assumptions in our own head. Again, it's about being mindful and focusing on the positive, releasing what doesn't serve you, and reflecting on those lessons so that you can start over. So anytime, this entire process, I break it down a lot more. This is just kind of like an overview of the things I wanted to give you guys. So this right here, the trauma, you can change that to you. Anytime you are presented with any situation, you are to put yourself there. That's you. Now, what are you going to do? Are you going to let it go, or are you going to hold on to it? If you're able to let it go, good job. Now, are you going to reflect on that? Why did you let it go? What was going on? What happened? And once you're able to do that, nice. Now go to the next one. What is refocus? How can you focus now on the best things that God has in front of you? Okay, maybe now this is the time I get to find a new job, and this is a new opportunity for me to rediscover myself and really build a relationship with God, like how He wants me to be, how He created me to be. And then now, once you've done that, go start over. Like, this is not just like in big situation, like big traumatic situation. It could be like the tiniest thing. It could be just from washing dishes. A lot of time it's the little things that gets the best of us. Putting clothes away, putting laundry away, changing your car oil, registering your car. Those things pile up and they become resentments. If we are not able to let it go, process, and understand, like, where could I have done differently here? What could I have processed here differently? Like, there's so many things that this program right here, that this step that I created can be useful. I use it myself every day, every time. Like, it has gotten to the point that I'm like, oh my goodness, like I don't understand. I'm like, this is intense, God. Like, how am I supposed to do all of this if I don't know what am I going through? Like, you have to identify like the feeling, the trauma, or that situation, so you can release it, so you can reflect on it, so you can refocus to the right things and start over. Okay? Does anybody have a question on that? You guys can unmute yourself. Don't ask all at once. I'm just kidding.
I had a question, Clarice. Do you spend 1 week on each of these each of these steps?
Who is that? Is that Miss Wilson?
Yes, this is Wilson.
Do I spend, what do you mean? Tell me a little bit more on that.
On your class that you're going to do.
Yes, so the class, I'm going to talk a little bit more about on that, but that's a good question, Miss Wilson. So I am going to have a 6 weeks class, and this 6-week class, we're going to spend more in depth on each of this because these things are so broad that it requires more in depth, like weekly. To answer your question, Ms. Wilson, yes, it's going to be a week and a half each topic since it's 6 weeks. But on my past coaching that I've had one-on-one, it was a draw to where it's 90 days or sometimes 6 months. I have a lot of clients who doesn't want to leave and they're just wanting me to go over and over because this is just one of the things that I do. I also help set your goals. I help you plan realistic goals, 3-month goal, 90-day goal, 1 week goal, even a day goal. I help you basically journal. We do inventory. We figure out what's stuck in there. Because if somebody asks you, I've said this multiple times, if somebody asks you, how are you? What do you say? Do you actually say how you're feeling? Specifically, like, can you point out how are you feeling? If somebody asks you, how are you today, Wilson? You know what I mean? Can you answer that? Or how are you today, Kashia? How are you today, Ruth? Like, are you able to say, today I feel defeated. Today I feel hopeless. To be able to pinpoint that requires a lot of mindfulness and a lot of inventory and a lot of like working on yourself. Because if you can identify that, then you'll be able to let it go, reflect on it, refocus and start over. But if you can't even identify that, it is just going to be there. It's going to bother you and bother you and bother you, and it's going to spill over to your work. It's going to spill over to your marriage. It's going to spill over to your friendship, your business. I mean, you name it, everything you can possibly think about. So the first step always is to identify. And as a coach, that is something that I do, that I work on with you, that I'm going to be working on the 6 weeks class that's going to come up.
Okay.
If you could go to the next. Thank you for asking, Miss Wilson.
Sure.
Anybody else have a question? No? Okay. We'll move on.
Sorry, I do. Sorry.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, you might have mentioned this. So this is a group transformational coaching, not one-on-one?
I am going to have a group class one, but I also have one-on-one one. The group one, I just found that it's a lot more beneficial for a lot of people who may not be ready to like face on hard, like that change and one-on-one with me. I'm not a hard coach, but again, I am a challenge coach. I do challenge you to really think from within. Like, I have a lot of people. I'm going to play some of the video for you guys in a little bit, but I have a lot of people who I have coached who were very timid for the longest time. And now they're out there writing their own books, and now they are doing speeches and like doing their own thing, you know what I mean? But it took a lot of trust between me and that person and trusting the process. And so when you have a group settings, it's a lot easier because then we all can kind of bounce off of each other. Like, okay, how is everybody feeling today? What did you learn from that lesson? How did that make you feel? So we can learn rather than just one. But there is a one-on-one, definitely. Anybody else have a question before I go to the next one? No? Okay, no problem, sis. I will see you on the next one. All right, so today I just want to encourage you. You are strong, you are enough, you're wanted, and you got this. You have to trust the process. Change is not easy. Okay, bye, Miss Saran. Change is not easy, but it is something you have to do. It's not, it's a choice. It's a choice that you have to make. It's something that you have to do. It's a decision that you have to make in order for you to make that renewal that you're needing in your life. Okay. We can go to the next one, Miss Wilson. Okay, so there's 4 phases of changes. There is denial, resistance, exploration, and commitment. So denial is telling yourself, I don't need help. I don't need to change. Resistance is that, I don't know. I don't think I need it. I don't think I need a coach. I don't think I need to hire anybody to help me. I don't think I need any type of help. But then that's when exploration comes. You become curious. You start wondering, like, okay, well, what does this really mean? What is Clarice telling me? Like, I feel like it's a bunch of jibber jabber. You know what I mean? Like, she's over here telling me about transformation. You start becoming curious. Curiosity is your best friend. Let me tell you, both good things and in bad ways. Curiosity can definitely help you get to the next level because it'll help you figure out, like, okay, this is what this is. But then curiosity can lead you to bad things if you're not careful. Then comes commitment. When you start being committed, you start wanting that change. You start implementing the change. You start making things happen. You start committing yourself to the best version of yourself that you can be. You have to stay fearless. You have to be brave, and you have to know that God is always your epicenter. Like, He is the all. Stay fearless and know that what you're doing is necessary, that what you're doing is important, that you changing is important. It is something that you have to do. So remember this, the next time that you're faced with any type of change, whether that's your work, having a new baby, or getting married, going through a divorce, whatever that is, it's a change. Change can be as big as a drastic change or as small of a change. You always go through this every single time. The denial stage, the resistance change. You refuse to make a change. Refuse. And then you start getting curious about this change. Like, I wonder what this is really going to look like. And then that's when you become committed to making that change. Okay. Next slide, sis. Okay. Here are just some of the things that I want to leave to you guys. Here are your don't do lists, and this is your instead to do list. So when you're feeling any type of like negativity thoughts, don't start blaming yourself. Don't start having self-pity, having that victim mindset or procrastination, or having hate, or being fearful, being resentful. I mean, the list can go on. There's so much things that you can do within your mind that you start thinking all of these wrong things, and it'll stop you from transforming into the best version of yourself. But instead, what you need to do is to acknowledge it, reach out for help, do self-discovery, be aware of yourself, what you're feeling, and be honest with yourself. Like, be really honest. Like, if you're feeling not okay, it's okay to say you're not okay. If you're feeling pain, be honest with yourself and you say, today I just don't feel like myself. And then reach out for help. That's awareness. That actually will help you figure yourself out. Embrace the pain and know that you're strong when you do these. And the most important part is trusting the process. I'm sure you guys have heard that a lot, like that cliche of just trust the process, or just trust the process, Wilson, just trust the process, Janika, or trust the process, Dora. And I'm sure that gets annoying because it's like, what do you mean? You don't really understand it. And then when you're out of it, when you're able to reflect back on it, because you've journaled enough, that's another thing that I'm going to teach you is journaling, is you get to do now this to-do list. Now you get to tell that to your daughter. Now you get to tell that to your husband. Like, this is what helped me. Like, I see you're in pain, but this helped me. Like, so look at this don't do list, but instead do this. Acknowledge you, love on you. Like, you are so freaking badass. Like, stop having such self-pity if you're not achieving the goal that you want, because guess what? The moment you remove yourself from that denial and you embrace that, you can actually go to the next one. You can actually reach out for help. Like, hey, I really am lacking help when it comes to, like, right now with my accounting, because I'm in college still. Like, oh my goodness, I don't know how to do this. Reach out for help. Stop being prideful. Like, understand that you need help, and that needing help does not mean weakness. Again, it's that false belief, limited beliefs that you've set in your head, that you feel like, if I just say this, this is what's going to happen, or this is what I believe. That limiting belief will not get you nowhere, but instead stuck in the same place, doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, and it will never happen. Next slide, sis. Okay, here are 5 ways that you can support others in difficult time. I wanted to throw this in here because we all go through tough time. Thank you. Bye, sis. I appreciate you. All of us go through a tough time, all of us. So I wanted to throw this in here because I want you to have some type of resource that you can utilize and pass on to someone else. 5 ways to support others during difficult time. Listen to better understanding. Don't assume, ask question. Recognize the situation. Create opportunities for involvement, but allow yourself time for self-care. Sorry, I think I added it twice. Self-love is the other one in there. Self-love is important. Showing them what self-love is and helping them understand that they need to love themselves, or that this is what self-love is. Understanding. You can also do this from yourself. Like, listen to your body. Listen to yourself and know the understanding that I don't feel good today. Don't assume when somebody else is not feeling good that it's about you, or that it's the whole situation, but ask them question, not in a question of investigation, like you are just trying to condemn them, but ask question like genuinely. Recognize the situation and create for that opportunities for involvement, that but allows you to have time for self-care still, because you are no good to nobody if you can't care for your own self. If you're just wanting to constantly help others, just like this, like you can help during this tough time like we are in now in COVID, but you still also need time for yourself. Thank you, sis. Next slide, please. Okay, so now I'm just gonna play a testimony for you guys of one of my clients, and I will play it now. It doesn't play there, Miss Wilson.
Okay.
I have to...
Okay.
I know.
Hi, I just want to take a moment to say how grateful I am to have Clarice's message. She has been an amazing person in my life. It has been a while since her and I have been able to connect, but when we finally connected, it has been full of blessings and wonderful experiences for me. I have had a lot of healing to do and not a lot of time. I have dealt with it, and she has helped me through every single through my process, which I am so grateful. I have been in a shell, and she has helped me to start getting out of it at a lot of time, to feel more confident about myself and to show my potential. She has pushed me to do things that I could never think or thought I would ever be able to do. And she encourages me so much. She has been a blessing in my life personally. I am beyond blessed. No matter how long it took for us to connect, I am able to count on her no matter what I'm thinking, what's going through my mind. She always helps me. She's always encouraging me. She always helps me analyze what's good and wrong, what's good and bad, and why I should do things or why shouldn't I do things. She doesn't decide for me, but she always helps me make the right decision for myself. And I think that I was blessed by God to have her in my life because she has really helped me through my process. Little at a time, I have grown a lot more in the past year, and I have become more confident with myself in a lot of ways. So thank you, Clarice, for being a part of my life and for being my life coach.
Thank you. That's Miss Nora. If you guys would have met Nora, I know some of you here are friends with her, but Miss Nora was very timid. Okay, she came to me and she wanted to start a business, but she was going through her own brokenness and not finding the ways to really start. Like, all she knew is she wanted to change and she's ready. You know, in order for you to make a change, like I said, you have to be willing and ready. You cannot change if you're not even willing to put in the work and to be committed to make those change happen, because it takes a lot of work. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you guys. It's not an easy process, but let me tell you, she has changed into a different person. I know Miss Wilson had seen it. Miss Elizabeth, she's here. She's met her in person. Like, I've put this woman through so much of like challenges, like, okay, now it's time for you to go out there, go speak, or go try to do this. Because it's like, my job is to help you remember who you are. Like, that person that's inside you is there. She's hiding, or he's hiding. You need to just bring it out because it's there. And the last one I have here is my other testimony. If you can go ahead and go to the next one, sis. Thank you. This one is Angel. Angel, she came to me last year feeling very down because of her disability. And she felt like she doesn't have anything and that she's just her disability. And so knowing her in the last year, it's amazing because she has evolved so much into a different person. It's amazing actually to see your clients or your friends or the people you're around with, because some of these people, sometimes they're not my clients, they're just my friends. And to know that you can make that impact, because again, transformation comes from within. If you're able to make that transformation, you make an impact to someone else's life. So I'm going to play the video of, well, there's not a video here, but I'm going to play the audio for Angel. She's very shy. She was like, do not play this, Claire. But I'm like, I'm going to play it anyways.
Hello, everyone. I am Angel. And last year, Claire mentored me. It was pretty awesome. I learned a lot about boundaries with her, and so I'm starting to use those. And trying to learn how to love myself in the process. If you guys need a mentor, you guys should check out Claire. She's very helpful in things that you need help with.
So that's Angel. Angel, again, she's very young, and working with her definitely showed me a lot of like things that I could grow from still as a coach, especially like her situation. Like, it was interesting. Same thing with Nora. There's a lot more women that I work with right now, but they're still in the program. So these are the two that recently just graduated from the program. So those are the two that I just wanted to let you guys know about their experience with me. The next slide, sis. Thank you. Okay, be free and live life fully. Are you ready to take on the challenge? Like, are you done? Are you sick and tired of being sick and tired? Are you sick and tired of being stuck in the same place? Are you ready to actually transform and be proud of who you are? Are you ready to be proud of the work that you do? Are you ready to be proud of the person you are? You know, like, are you ready to actually embrace the person God created you to be, or are you stuck still? If you are, you can go to the next slide, sis. If you are, I am getting ready to host my first round of my 6-week group class. And with everything that I'm doing, you can either do it and sign up for the first 6 week. You could do it as the one-time payment. It's only $97. And that may seem a lot, but trust me, if you eat out, you can spend easily $100. And if you can't afford the $97, you can definitely do the payment plan. I do allow you to have a payment plan. However, you end up paying a little bit more if you do the payment plan, but you can do 3 payments of $50 until the whole session is done. What you get out of this is you will definitely get the material. You will have one-on-one session with me. You will have session in the group session settings. We'll have materials every week that we will be going over. You'll have phone calls time with me, and we're going to dive in like really deep and make sure that you are able to transform. And heck, sometimes after you finish the 6 week, you may want to have a one-on-one time with me. And once you're ready for that, then we can jump on that. I definitely feel like when it comes to transformation, it's something that you need to ease in and understand, because again, you have to be fully committed to want to make the change and really jump onto that, because once you make that change, trust me, it will propel you and want you, and you're going to want to go to the next step. You're going to ask me like, Claire, what can we do here? Claire, can you do this? What do you think about this, Claire? And then there's sometimes, okay, sis, I will sign you up for that. There's times even that I'm like, okay, hold on, wait, what are you doing now? And as a coach, you can reach out to me anytime, 24/7. Okay, just because we have the one-on-one group setting does not mean that it's just a group setting one-on-one time. Okay, like you get to call me, you'll have my information. If you are feeling printing on my sound. Okay, sis, I will talk to you soon. I'll send you the information. Thank you. Sure. Is it Sarah? I think that was you. That
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, I'm interested. I'm not
All
sure
right.
if I might do the payment plan option, or I might do the full thing. I'm not sure yet.
That's fine, sis. You could do the payment plan, like I said, like, or even if that's even too short of a payment plan, just work with me. I will work with you. Really, like I'm just here to really help you guys out and love on you and make sure that I'm here to support you all the way through and through. And like I said, you'll have my number. We'll go over a lot of things, and we'll dive really deep when it comes to all those cycles. That's just one portion of the program. Okay, we dive in a lot deeper when it comes to this, which is awesome, because then by the time you graduate in the 6 weeks program, you'll have your little certificate knowing that you have now cocooned out into a butterfly, and you get to go to the next level if you want to or whatnot. So far we have 2. So if any of you, if you want to pray on it first, think about it, really ask God, like, God, if you are worried about the financial portion, work with me and just ask me and I will work with you. Again, I'm just here to help. But I'm here to make sure that you're also getting the value of what you're getting from me. Okay, but you're definitely going to have all the materials. The next slide will actually tell us when the class is going to start. The class is going to start on June 15 and it will end to July 25th. So we're basically going to meet every Wednesday of the month. Once I've gathered all of the women and men that wants to be a part of this, for right now, I'm just really doing women first. All of the women, because I definitely want to make sure that there's safety when it comes to releasing a lot of the information that we're going to be doing there and discussions that we're going to have. So for right now, I'm doing women only. The class is going to start on June 15 and it will end on July 25th. And every Wednesday we will meet all the way up until the 6 week. It is going to be a 1 hour session every Wednesday. And that will be the time that we break down. We really ask, we inventory, we figure out like, okay, Claire, like what is not working with you guys? What's working with you? What bothered you this week? How can I help? What did you feel about the topic we have? Because I'm going to give you homeworks so that you can do your inventory. Okay. So that's going to start on June 15. Like I said, if you have not said yes, right now, that's not a problem. You can side message me, you can just DM me or whatnot, text me, email me. And there's my number, it's right there in my email. Just let me know, like, Claire, I'm interested. And if you want more information offline, I can give that to you as well. Okay. But class will start on June 15. So far, we have 2. I'm opening it for 6 people only this class because I definitely want it to be very intimate. So if you are interested, we have how many? 4 more slots available for women. So invite others. Okay. All right. Ms. Wilson, can you go to the next slide, please? Okay, so like I said, one-on-one coaching is available. The one-on-one coaching, there are my prices. It's probably too tiny for you guys to see, but if you wanting to have more information on my one-on-one, those ladies that you guys heard, those are my one-on-one clients. They've worked with me for a year now. I do have like different weeks of time that I work with them, and there's different like packages that you can get from me depending on what you can what you felt led to do with me. And like I said, if it's the financial portion that you are leery about, you can definitely work with me. That is not a problem. But here are some of my information. But if you want to have a one-on-one time with me more and you don't feel comfortable having like a group setting, that's not a problem. We can have one-on-one time. And I'd be more than happy to help you with that. And there's a lot more actually that I offer when I do one-on-one, because I do a lot more like private sessions with you, and we can have more personal time with each other. And you can tell me more freely when I have the group setting. Usually when I ask you like, how are you feeling today? Remember, I'm going to start asking you all that. How are you? I need some answers, like actually do an inventory within. And you may not feel comfortable asking that. So that one in mind may be the one that would work best for you. And the last 2 slides we have, if you can go to the next one, sis, is let's talk and work together. Okay. Time for you to transform. Time for you to load up and become the best version of yourself. Stop comparing yourself to others and stop like being stuck and start making moves. Stop comparing yourself to others that you feel like are doing moves and doing things and you feel like you're not doing anything. Girlfriend, it's time for you to move then. Let's talk. Let's work together. Here's my contact. Write it down. We do have a Facebook group here, but with my coaching class and my 6 weeks group, I am going to have our own actual group on that once I actually have it established with the 6 women that I'm going to be working with. But you can follow me here. You can reach out to me on my cell phone. Here's all my info. You can call me like at any time of the day. If I don't answer, please leave a message, text me. I usually can answer better if I'm texted instead of call. So just let me know, and I'm here. If you just want to talk to someone, you don't have to pay me to talk to someone. I do provide free 15-minute consultation if you want to consult with me first, one-on-one, and if you want to have that really understanding what I really do, you can also have that. There's my phone number. And the last one I have here on the last slide is nothing. Okay, I guess that was it. So, do you guys have any other questions or concerns before we let go and end the night? Do you have any other questions for me? If we don't have any other questions, I know a lot of the people have gotten off, but thank you so much for everyone else that's left here. I truly appreciate you. Miss Sarah, I will write your information down here. Are you my friend on Facebook? I think you are.
I believe we got connected recently. Yes.
Okay. I'm going to write down your info here, Miss Sarah, and then I'll reach out to you privately on Messenger. Okay.
I'll give you my cell phone here too, just so you have it.
Sure, that would work. If you want to just message me directly to me, so that I'm the only one that got to see that would work. All right. Well, Miss Wilson, thank you so much for helping me
You're welcome.
with my slide that did not work. I really appreciate you. Thank you so much. And thank you, Miss Sarah. I got it. I will write it down now.
Awesome.
I truly appreciate you, and you have a good night. Miss Wilson, if you don't mind staying, please.
Yes.
Thank you so much, Miss Sarah, and I look forward to working with you. And
You
hopefully
too. Have a great night.
you too. Have a good night. God bless.
God bless.
Miss Wilson. Oops, hold on. Let me just